Hey guys, Beretta USA here, and today's video is going to be a comparison, the old Two Gun Tuesday showdown between the 40 caliber SIG 229 and the Beretta 96A1. Again, chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. This is a little bit smaller of a pistol, of course, you guys. It's a compact pistol, basically compared to a full-size pistol. These are what I have. I don't have a full-size 226, so this is what I'm showcasing. One of the big things to note versus a full-size 226 is you're looking at a bit chunkier of a slide on the 229s versus your 226. So know that going into it here. And this is a DAK chambered in 40. So DAK meaning double action Kellerman from SIG, meaning this is a double action only style trigger. And it's interesting how SIG does these DAK triggers. So if you start pressing on this trigger, you heard that first click right there. What that is, actually let's get these snap caps out real fast. We have these, might as well use them, right guys? Zoom snappies. Also, both of these guns are running DPM guide rod assemblies. And if you don't know what those are guide rod reduction recoil systems from, again, DPM Systems out of Greece. Red Zoom snap caps. In the 96A1 and in the 229 DAK. So again, the DAK, so you can see the format and how this is now after putting a round in the chamber. The trigger is cocked, meaning that with the DAK trigger, you have a lighter press if it's not from the full double action. And what I mean by that is right now, if I press this trigger, now that I let this fully out, I have a full double action. Now, if I start to press from this full double action right now to this point and I let off the trigger, now I have that lighter trigger press that I had beforehand. You can see how the hammer is home now. Again, that's that full double action versus if I touch the trigger here to the halfway position and I let off, hammer is slightly cocked. So you have that lighter press, about 6 pounds versus around 8.5 to 9 pounds right here in the full press if it's not been staged basically, or half pressed and then released. Staged, what I mean by staged is, of course, racking around in the chamber and having it ready to go. That would be staged for this type of trigger system. Now, again, so staging it like that, you have a good trigger, man. I mean, that 6.5 pound trigger is smooth and consistent all the way to that break at the rear. So if this was to reset, again, you're at that better trigger press, but you gotta let it all the way out. Right, let me see. First press after reset, you have a heavier trigger pull right here. This is a heavier trigger pull, that's correct, yes. So if you let it out to the secondary click, right here, then you have a lighter trigger press. But again, if you go for that first click after that reset, it's that heavier trigger pull. You're talking 8.5 pounds to 9 pounds. That's how the DAK trigger works. I love the DAK trigger. It's just a phenomenal trigger in my opinion. But again, I grew up shooting Beretta 92s and revolvers and Glocks, but I really was keen to the Berettas back when I was a kid. Because this is a DAK pistol, you can see there is no decocking lever right here. Nothing to bring you back to double action from single action if this was a traditional P-series double action, single action pistol. And of course, with a DAK pistol, you can actually buy those parts and convert it to a single action, double action pistol if that's what you want it to be. In case you didn't know. And by the way, this is a police trade-in. That's why it looks a bit rough around the edges here, but still completely serviceable. And I gotta tell you, it actually kind of looks about as used as my 220 compact does now after having it for a couple years and using it as a main 2 go-to piece. You know what I'm saying, guys? Anyway, right here we got a Mekgar 15 round 40 Smith & Wesson mag for the 96A1, letting you know that you do have some extended mag capabilities through 96. And of course, with the 229, you can shove any 226 40 cal mag in this. You can also change out the barrel and convert this to a 357 SIG if you'd like. Again, these traditional SIG P-series pistols have been out for a long time. There is a ton of aftermarket support for them. In comparison, the 96A1 right here has been out since, I believe, 2012 SHOT Show. I think that's when this thing came out. If I remember, it came out the same year they released the Beretta ARX 100, or at least they announced the 160 anyway. The Italian military was going to that. What's the deal with the Beretta? This is a traditional double action, single action pistol like we were talking about that a traditional P-series pistol would be if it wasn't something like this, or single action only, etc. So this is, again, snappy in here. We got a snap cap in there. Ooh, a money single action. And again, here's double action. So first trigger pull would be double action, and then if this was going off, slide would cycle. Now we are transitioning into single action, and it is a short, crisp trigger. So slick. 4.5 pounds, I'd say, on this, and double on this, Slightly heavier than how the double action Kellerman feels. Maybe half a pound heavier. So looking at 9.5 pounds, 9 pounds versus 8 pounds, in my opinion on this. Let's try them. From double action, 96A1, 10.4, 9.10, we'll go with that. Now the DAK from full double, see the hammer is home, 8.15, again from full double, full DAK, 8.5. Now let's try from the half cock position. This should be like a 6.5 pound trigger. Okay, I pulled on that a little hard. Let's try it again. There you go. 6 pounds, 12.5 ounces. Love these 40s. You don't have a 40 cal pistol and you're looking at one, looking for one, and you don't want to get something with a polymer frame. These are two of the best. Genuinely two of the best 40 cal pistols you can get on the market. A full size or a compact frame style P series chambered in 40, or the full-size heavy hitter 96 or 96A1 from Beretta. And by the way, if you're interested in these grips, these are a pair of LOK grips that are Resident Evil inspired. Stars, as in the Nemesis, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, absolutely beautiful LOK grips, again, with the red inlay on these. Love that pistol, feels so good. Again, these pistols are pretty comparable in that they are both 12+1 stock fitting capacities on these. If you don't live in a band state, if you live in a band state, you might be looking at 10+1. But again, 40 caliber. These 40 cal problem solvers will get the job done, believe me. 40 cal is devastating, hard hitting round. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's kind of funny how some of these calibers are making a comeback. I like to see it. Still 32 ACPs making a comeback. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. 40 has come and gone being a preferred caliber. And yes, the 40 is kind of snappy, but if you can deal with the recoil, amazing products like this DPM Recoil Reduction guide rod assembly that I have in both these pistols, it does help, guys, and it helps reduce some of that felt recoil in the hand. Keeps that muzzle down, guys. Lets you really hammer home, be able to put some controlled pairs together, or however you want to shoot. In my experience, all it does is help. The only pistol I ever had an issue with a DPM product in was a Glock 43. So in my experience, that's one of the guns I wouldn't put their product in, but past that, the 40s, 45s, full-size 9s, as in the Glock 19X, Glock 45, or Glock 17, etc. Phenomenal products. Highly recommended. One thing I definitely wanted to cover before we got out of here is these two different weapon-mounted flashlights from Streamlight. This is the new TLR1 HLX. You're coming in at 1500 lumens with this new flashlight versus 1000 with the original TLR1 HL. So again, there's 1000 and there's 1500 on the right. Probably might need to charge the batteries in the 1500. I've been using it a bit recently, but anyway, really amazing flashlight. Again, 1500 lumens, 20,000 candela. The TLR7 HLX is a little bit more of a compact size flashlight, coming in at 1000 lumens. Again, 1500 on the left, 1000 on the right. Both quality flashlights, you guys. Really amazing switches on them. You got momentary if you just click and hold, or if you just click it, it'll be on, click it on and off, etc. Quality products, if you're interested in getting a weapon-mounted flashlight, these are the two that I recommend the most as of late. Which pistol feels more ergonomic in my hand? The traditional Beretta 92 with its hump back here really does feel good in my hand with these traditional thickness style grips from LOK Grips. Right here on the SIG 229, you got the SIG E2 style grip that you saw on the SIG 227s and all that, etc. Really nice grip, very trim in the hand. That's one thing I do like about the E2 grip. It's so ergonomic in hand. It really just melts this pistol into the hand, makes it super controllable. And quality pistol. Again, this pistol has SIG Light night sights on it, by the way, out the gate. Again, this was a police trade-in. Pistol in the hand, natural pointer. Got this from AIM Surplus a couple years back. Shout out to AIM Surplus. In the Beretta 96A1, you've got dovetailed style white contrast sights that are replaceable if you'd like to replace them. Traditional F series on this 96A1. This safety up here, pistol's cocked back. You flick this down again, this decocking lever, and the pistol is rendered useless until you flick this safety back up, manually flicking it back up to the live fire position, and you got a live trigger again. And it's an ambidextrous decocker right here, just like the traditional 92FS. A couple other upgrades they made to the 96A1 over the traditional 96. They added the Picatinny rail so you can mount lights or lasers to this, and they also put in a recoil buffer to this 40 cal. If I press this in and then turn the lever, and take off your slide. Take a look at the internals right here. You can see that shade of blue right here. That is the recoil buffer in your frame on your 40 cal pistol from Beretta. And again, that's the DPM guide rod assembly in the 96A1. And again, when you're putting this pistol together, because it's one of the newer Berettas, you don't need to flip this. It automatically will go up when you put it back together. Most impressive. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, click that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below, let me know what you guys think of these 40s, or if you have a couple 40 cal problem solvers, which 40s do you have? And how often do you get those pistols out, or they stay in your safe and pull out the 45s instead? Let me know what you guys have to say. Much appreciated, and as always, remember, your Second Amendment is worth protecting.